G'day friends, welcome to today's video. I feel like I just really upset a lot of book lovers. I didn't mean for that to be so clunky. G'day, welcome to today's video. My name's James, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to do something really exciting, a little bit of a 1, 2, 3 step moment. I'm going to take inspiration from this book, have a bit of a sketchy play, and then I'm going to create a journal spread based off of whatever I got inspired by and ended up sketching out. So it's a bit of a process. I don't typically do this. I don't really ever, I don't commit a lot of that to a journal spread. Typically they're just very intuitive, whatever I feel like doing at the moment. But I guess this is what I feel like doing today. I feel like being a little involved about it. So why not? Let's direct that energy to something a bit more productive and turn the camera on and do that for you today. I'm not really going to teach anything. I'll go through what I love about what I'm doing and kind of, I don't know, we'll see. I'll go into a voiceover by the time I start sketching, so whatever I've got to share with you, I'll share then. But first I'm going to flip through this book. It is They Drew As They Pleased, The Hidden Art of Disney's Golden Age. This one's the 1930s. They actually do it by decades. I believe it's decades. I have a bunch of these specific ones, but I do love all kinds of Disney coffee table book, concept art books, because I love the original thoughts that go into all of these movies and these productions. I love the concepts. I love seeing where, you know, the same source material gets reinterpreted a ton of different ways. And it's something I like to do with my own creativity. I like to, you know, regurgitate, recycle, reuse, upcycle, whatever you want to call it. Regurgitate is probably not the nicest way to put it, but I do like to continually pull from the same source inspiration and just see it evolve. So, you know, some factors that really make it different is how you're feeling on one day. You could be in a really terrible place one day, you know, creating something, and then try and recreate the same something when you're really, really happy, and the results could be completely different. I mean, it's that cliche, but like, you know, if you're sitting in a therapist's office and they ask you to choose a crayon from the box, you know, what color do you pick? Kind of represents something. Always pick the black one and just keep them guessing. That's what I did. I shouldn't go into this. This is not about therapy, but you know what I mean? These books are just always so lovely to look at. This is just a bunch of different artists. Like I said, I've got a bunch of the other ones. I've used them before in videos much like this, except it was just sketching and painting before. This is the first time I think I'm going to turn it into a journal spread specifically, but I have done this before on Patreon, back in Playtest Patreon 2018, which I don't think it's available any longer. I just figured that out myself. I was like, I think it's on Etsy. I don't think it is on Etsy anymore. I think it's done. No, so Patreon 2018, that content's kind of gone away. Perhaps I'll put it on Teachable one day. I don't know. That's where Playtest 2 is, from 2019. There's also another one of these books. Is it the book? It might not be the book. I think I did the book on YouTube and I did Tim Burton. I think I did Mary Blair as like a style files, kind of like a case study, which Mary Blair was a Disney artist and is featured in, not this book, but a different one. So maybe that's where I'm getting them all crossed and confused. Anyway, I shouldn't talk to you for too long because I'm going to flip through the book. I'll stop. I've got my little, I ran out of pink. I've got my little post-it tape, which I'm just going to flag different pages. I know I threw the book on as soon as I started the video, but please don't be offended about how I use this book. Yes, some of them have paint on them. Yes, some of the corners of the pages are tore up. Yes, there's post-its all over another one. I love to use these. These are as much of a part of that creative process as the paint. You know, this is one of those really tangible things that I can flip through and look at, and you know, I haven't gotten to that place where, you know, I want to draw on the book, but if it took me there, if I really needed to know something, I might even get my pencil in there. So this is a resource, this is a tool, and that is how I use them. So sorry if that does offend you if you are a bibliophile, I think is the word. If you're a book lover. Let's just say that. All right, let's go through it. I'm going to, I'll quickly say what I'm going to mark and what I'm going to flag. I might not get to sketching everything from here, but I do want to pick out kind of everything that stands out to me today. Like I said, a different day, something else might stand out. I might want to draw something else. My mood might be different. I might be even working on something specifically, like maybe I'm going to challenge myself to draw animals, and there might be animals in here that I might want to draw. Not really, but, you know, could happen. I don't typically get into animals too much. So anyway, I'll let you know when we stop. All right, I like this little bellflower kind of an illustration here. This is a flower study. I don't know. This doesn't say. It just says over here flower studies, but there was a Disney short that was never produced. It was kind of abandoned, that has a lot of these flower studies in it. So I'm not typically into florals, but I do like the character element of these florals. Maybe that's something to look at, don't know. Just gonna flag it. I kind of like these too. I don't know, there's something like 20s about it. I know they were done in the 30s, but it's kind of that era. Which I saw a game design that looks like this as well. They've taken inspiration from the 20s and 30s and used that. It's this kind of eye. I've even done this before in another book too. My old sketchbook, I did a page kind of inspired by that. Because I was watching that documentary of the game on a flight, so I got my sketchbook out and was like, oh, I'm gonna give this a go. It's something that I've looked at before, I've just never really dived into it, but I might be feeling that today. I also like her, she looks really cute. And I was gonna say, I know I've already talked my face off, but you know, just check how long the video is. You'll see how carried away I got. You'll know if you want to watch it now or watch it later, or never watch it. I wouldn't be mad. But I was gonna say that, oh look, these are cute. I'm not gonna draw those today, but they're cute. I was gonna say that I've seen this book before, obviously, but I just, you know, you see different things every time you flip through it. Sometimes you're so taken with one thing, you might just glaze over something else, or a sketch could be particularly intricate, or maybe even a little like hazy. Some of these really old sketches, you know, scanned as they were preserved, and some of them are just really blurry. So sometimes you miss details, like there are little mermaids in this sketch that I didn't really see the first time. They're not something I really want to draw today, not those specifically, but it reminded me that, you know, it's not even if you're in a different mood, sometimes you just miss it the first time, or you miss it the second time, or you miss it the 50th time. If you're anything like me, you can go back and still find those things really enjoyable 65 times later. I can watch the same television show and I still laugh in the same places and still find new places to laugh as well. So just gonna let you know that as well. I like this. There's some kind of abstract thing. Don't know what I'll do with that, but I like it. I have marked up other books before where I didn't actually, I didn't get to everything, and then when I went back to use them again as inspiration for another little, you know, creative play sesh, I didn't end up using what I had tabbed before. So I like this, but I don't know. Sometimes it really is interesting to go back and just, sometimes I would tab it and I think, what on earth did I want to do with that? Like, it must have been a very specific instance that I wanted to try something, or I just got a new medium and I thought, oh, I'll have a go, I'll play with that, and maybe that's what that looks like. But I do like these little mechanical things. I really like this here. I do like this because that's that really easy kind of watercolor illustration style where you just leave lots of white areas to represent the high gloss or the high shine or highlights just in general. And I really like her face. Here's some more. Oh, this is what it's called, the Ballet de Fleurs. We don't speak French. We love French, we love our fake French, we don't really speak it, okay? So, roast me in the comments down below, but do it in French so I can't understand it. Ballet de Fleurs, I believe Ballet of the Flowers, right? Or Flower Ballet. Specifically really love these, but I think it's cute how they've made characters out of them. Even these, what are these, snapdragons or something? Girl, I don't know. Tiger lily. This is a tiger. That's cute. I love that. This is a storyboard for merbabies. As if we're going to pass something that says merbabies and not tag it. Maybe I'll go in that direction today. I do love my mermaids. I like these little ducks. I don't draw animals, but if I were to draw something, I like that face. I like that shape. Alright, I'm going to tab this one because I really like this this face. This very vintage kind of cherub face. I would like to know how to draw that. I've never been that good at it, but it's something that I would like to know one day. I can always see the proportions, I can't execute it very well. And here are more of these abandoned drawings. I think I'm happy with the ones that I've got, but these are really pretty too. I like her. Love a good geesh moment. And literally, I mean, as if I would pass that. It's fairies. I've never passed up an opportunity to draw a fairy. Absolutely not. I didn't know, but look, I'm so into it, I tabbed both pages as if I'm not gonna use both. I'll use this one back here as well, just so I know. Love the fairies. I love this dark background stuff too. We tried that before, I think, on Patreon. I think it was on playtest 2, I believe. But I've tried it a bunch of other places too, but I had a bit of success with it on that when we were doing the Mary Blair style files. I really liked that. It's tricky, but I like it. All right, that's it for the book. So we got a bunch of tabs to work with. I think I'm gonna leave you here in real life and I'll go up into voiceover mode. So wish me luck. I'm gonna have a good time just drawing. Like I said, I won't use absolutely everything that I tabbed, but I'm just gonna kind of open up my sketchbook. I've got a sketchbook here covered in cat hair. I just don't typically pull out these big journals anymore because I've just been really loving the A5 size. But I think for today, I'm really gonna get some inspiration flowing and kind of crack out whatever medium I feel like. So I wanted a sturdier paper than my sketchbook. My current sketchbook is the Fauxbonichi Techo Cousin. So I just kind of stick stuff in here, and I've been doing a little bit of sketching. Oh, I found these paints at Michael's for 97 cents. They're the Martha Stewart, and they're called watercolor. They're soft gel watercolors. They come in these little tubes. They're on sale for 97 cents. I don't know if they will be by the time you see this video, but they're pretty good. They are like a gel. I haven't, this is as much as I've done with them, but I like the colors and they were 97 cents. So yeah, I've been doing a little sketching in here. Nothing too much, just playing. This was actually gifted to me, and I'm very thankful to have an opportunity to actually work in a real Fauxbonichi, because you know I'm usually in my Fauxbonichi, which is probably where we'll end up, let's be real. I'll probably end up doing my finished spread in my Fauxbonichi so that I can do, I won't do a week, maybe I'll do like four sections, or maybe I'll just work around the border or something. I don't know, I'll make my mind up when I get to it, because my Fauxbonichi this year is just any day that I feel like documenting, that's the day that I do it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not preparing a week and then doing a week straight. I'm just doing, you know, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I got 3 days in a row. Maybe I'll go do Friday as well, or maybe I won't come back to it till Monday and then I'll start again at Monday. So some days is just like, this is the day here, and this is a little moment. And then other times, this was one whole day, just January 25th. So that's how I'm kind of using my Fauxbonichi at this point. And I am loving it. It's the MD paper 10th anniversary dot grid in the A5 size. Sorry, random journal chat, but I just kind of wanted you to know where that stuff will end up. I could have done that in the voiceover. I'm an idiot. All right, let's get into it. I'll see you in the voiceover in a second. Alrighty, I'm here. I'm in the voiceover and I'm not alone.
Hello, hello.
Steve's joined me.
How's it going, everybody? How are you? Long time no see.
Good, Steve. Well, you're waiting for a response.
Can you imagine?
Sometimes I do that. I'll ask you a question.
I'm sure somebody responded.
I have, you know, I mean, you know, I'm like when I watch television.
What?
Just very responsive.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You are not.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Responsive and how?
Sometimes I like slap my leg and get really into it and say, yes, preach, queen. Maybe I don't do that when you're around because I've been shamed for it. No, I'm very responsive. I am on YouTube very much.
Maybe that's what it is, but actually, I'm not around when you're watching YouTube.
That's true.
Because you're usually, you know.
Don't tell him what I watch on YouTube. It's a secret. Steve's going to out me one day for what I watch on YouTube. It's terrible.
Did you watch the video that I sent you today?
I did actually. She was a really good singer.
She did a really good job.
We're talking about Never Enough.
You know from The Greatest Showman?
Yeah, my mom loves that movie.
So, you know the song Never Enough is actually sung by an artist named Lauren Allred. And she just recently did a thing with David Foster, and it's on YouTube. It's like David Foster Presents, and she sings Never Enough, and she does a beautiful job.
Can I ask, did she do hers before Catherine McPhee?
Yes.
So did Catherine McPhee borrow some of those?
I'm sure.
Alternate.
I'm sure.
Because one of them sounded exactly the same as her performance.
I'm sure. But you know that Catherine McPhee is David Foster's wife.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah. They just got married like a year ago.
All of this connects.
Right.
Conspiracies. Yeah, no, she sounded beautiful. They both sounded beautiful. So anyway, that's completely off topic. But I guess, I mean, there's not really a topic for today. I just brought Steve back in because he's a part of the JLB Creative Cinematic Universe.
So it's like Avengers.
Yeah, Endgame for my sketchbook.
Oh my gosh, what would your superpower be?
Just being thin, no matter what I eat. Is that a superpower?
That's a legit superpower.
It's honest. Look, what would yours be? Do you know what mine would be?
What?
Invisibility, because I am such a snoop.
It's true. I'd probably be flying.
Really?
Yeah, I love flying. You look at me. He was like, Really?
Well, because you know what, in my head, I was thinking, oh, is that for travel? Because I was thinking, in my head, if you're flying for travel, you can only fly at the speeds we can fly at. So I'm like, you're really just going to be up in the air for 14 hours by yourself trying to get to
No, I would just...
the UK. Why wouldn't you just be like teleportation?
Yeah, that.
It's quicker.
That and flying.
You can't have all of them. Anyway, yeah. Well, invisibility. Because then I could just sneak into first class and like sit on the floor or whatever.
Yeah, but what if there's no space for you?
Invisible. I could go anywhere.
Yeah, but would that still be comfortable? Because...
Let's go to the toilet, lock the door.
No, but it would still be uncomfortable because you'd still have to take up some type of space.
Yes.
It's like in Harry Potter when Malfoy...
Please
knows that
discuss more of the logistics of this superpower that I'm not going to get. Remember?
How are dragons going to fly that? Like, a dragon can't fly that fast. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we had a discussion. This was ages ago about Game of Thrones when we were discussing the logistics of dragonflight. And I was like, is this real?
And it was like a major discussion. Like, talking about, like the wingspan of a dragon.
I appreciate that people really do give it some thought, but to be honest, I suspend all disbelief when I'm watching videos about dragons. It's just because I couldn't be bothered trying to figure it out.
It's a dragon.
Yeah, but no, some people really do feel that. Some people are willing to only suspend disbelief so much, right? I mean, you go on rides at Disneyland, and some days, if you're really feeling it, you're with a group of people that are really feeling it, you could be really exhilarated by a lot of things. If you're with a bunch of people that are like, oh, this is kind of lame, this is kiddie, you really do shift your perspective on how you experience that.
Sure, I do find the irony of people being literalists when it comes to fantasy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
because
but it's got to make sense to them though. Because I think even within that,
it's fantasy though.
Yeah, but we still have our own ideas about what is not acceptable.
How?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. You can.
I'm pretty open.
You can make it mean whatever you want it to mean.
Don't know.
I don't know. That's very interesting to me.
Super. I keep saying super off topic. We have no topics.
There's no topic.
It's literally discuss
Although, I
what
mean,
you want
this
to discuss.
is whatever you're drawing here. Was this a dancing flower? A leaf?
Yes, it is.
So that's fantasy.
Yeah, so would you say she has to have 2 arms, 2 legs? Or does she need 4 legs like the chickens you like to draw?
Shut up.
Steve's very good at drawing a few things.
Oh, yes, I can
that
draw.
he's practiced a lot.
That's the only thing.
And who knows what circumstance you needed to be drawing a chicken in?
I don't know. I was in grade school and they were talking about drawing a chicken. I was like, oh, I can draw a chicken. Like, trying to be like really pop. Like, I know how to do this. And I go to draw the chicken, and I drew the chicken with 4 legs. Because I had forgotten that they only have 2 legs.
It makes
I thought
sense,
4
though.
limbs, right?
4 appendages. Is that like I would think?
Yes.
Yeah, 4 something come off their body. Who knows what they are?
So yeah, a 4-legged chicken.
You should have drawn it with wings for legs.
Oh, that would have been yuck.
Didn't you have a chicken?
I did. I grew up with a chicken. We had a chicken for like maybe a couple months.
That's so random.
Have I told you this story before? Okay.
Yes, we've heard this story before.
So,
let me get one of my stories everyone's heard a billion times.
Long story short, my mom bought a chicken, a little chick, at the hay and feed store by our house because my mom would go there to buy dog food.
Steve, we usually hear about this around Easter time. This is not
a
story for February.
Well, still, so she bought a chick thinking, oh, I'm going to take this chick home. Great, my parents are from South America. My parents are from Ecuador, so that's something that they probably would have done there. So she brings it to to our house, and her thought is the chick will probably die. It's not a big thing, but we put it in a box.
That's such a terrible thought.
We put a lamp, like a desk lamp in there to keep the chick warm. And it was so cute, and we loved it. And then we fed it, and of course, it grew. And we thought it was going to be a chicken, and it actually grew into a rooster. And it grew to the point where it was crowing the rooster crows, yeah. It crowed at 4 a.m. in our suburban neighborhood, and the neighbors were going crazy, got upset.
You were those people with the rooster.
We were the Hispanic people with the rooster. Oh my goodness. Anyway, we took the rooster to a local ranch, and they took care of the rooster for us. It was my brother's rooster, actually, because he fell in love with the rooster. I don't have an affinity for birds. Birds and fish kind of freak me out naturally.
The crows have eyes.
The crows have eyes, so that freaks me out a little bit. Anyway, they would go visit the rooster at the ranch once a week, and I think like week 3 into the ranch having the rooster, my brother went and there was no rooster to be found. Long story short, a coyote had come the night before and had eaten our rooster.
It.
So that's it.
I think it was obvious what happened there. Oh goodness.
Oh my goodness.
So all of that to say, Steve can draw you a rooster with 4 legs if that's something you're looking for. If you've got a country kitchen going on and you just want some decorative
Don't
pieces.
we talk about this? Like kitchens are farms and bathrooms are
oceans.
Oceans.
That's from SNL.
Is that? But it's so true though.
Do you know what else I got from SNL?
What?
Hey y'all.
What?
I always say hi y'all, and believe it or not, I'm not Texan or from the South.
Really?
So I know, shock. But I get it from this Kristen Wiig skit where she plays Paula Deen. And she's like, hey y'all. So
I've never heard you say that.
Well, because I'm always writing it on Instagram, but in my head, that's how I'm saying it. But I realized that if I'm unironically saying it...
Pull up your Instagram. Do you have an Instagram post?
No, yeah, there's probably a recent one that's like, hi y'all.
Ew.
But I don't want people to think I'm just like
I thought it was you saying it.
mocking
I thought it was
someone.
you saying it in your Australian accent, trying to be hip.
No, hi y'all.
Hi y'all.
Hi y'all.
Hey y'all.
We don't say that.
No, but you like to adapt.
Yeah, I am very Madonna like that. Hybrid.
Hey y'all.
Hi y'all.
Hi y'all.
No.
No, it doesn't work.
No.
Keep it to anyway.
Anyway, so that's what I'm doing.
So what are you drawing here?
Good for SNL. This is a little baby chubby Ariel.
What was that? What's that pink thing?
It was... Okay, I did the duck, which then I thought when I'd done... Because I had never drawn animals. Speaking of you drawing an animal.
Right.
I never draw animals. I'm not really good at drawing animals from memory. In fact, I'm terrible at it. I'm comically bad at it.
myself as well.
But, I mean, I know which ones have legs and which ones don't. But I think... I was using a reference, obviously, the book, the sketchbook. I just wanted to add little Donald Duck features to it, just as I was coloring it in.
I love it.
But then I thought, I'll do another one where I'm just inspired by the shapes of it, but make it like a bunny rabbit hybrid kind of a anyway, it's an abomination. It shouldn't exist. I'm disturbed by it. It's almost like a worm, rabbit, slug, duck.
So it's supposed to be a duck rabbit.
Who knows? Yeah, it was supposed to be something like that, but it is what it is. And these are all just sketches. Ultimately, what I'm doing is I'm trying to find a bunch of sketches inspired by or referenced from that book.
Which
book? They drew as they pleased.
Oh, the one I got you.
Well, you have bought me many of them. This one I actually bought for myself.
Okay.
But yes, those ones. And I'm using that, and I'm going to sketch out everything, just kind of learning, having fun, playing.
Okay.
Essentially, I'm playing.
Okay.
I'm just exploring.
Yeah.
Learning is a byproduct of that. But I'm going to use whatever I like to make a journal spread in my Fauxbonichi, which I'll get to it's after this. I think I draw this fairy and one more thing, which I love this fairy, by the way. She's my favorite.
She's really pretty.
Thanks.
So this is meant to, you're practicing for another journal. You're practicing in one journal to draw in another journal.
When you put it like that, it sounds nuts.
But that's what you're doing, right?
Yes.
Okay. The funny thing is, like, James is typically the literalist between the two of us, and he's very linear.
I've said this before, not in creativity though.
And I'm sitting here completely confused as to why you would draw in one journal just to draw in another journal. Because one is a nice presentational journal.
Well, no, because this one's got paper that's a little sturdier for the watercolor, and it's bigger, so I could fit more in there.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, and this is kind of like one of those art sketchbook kind of ones, whereas my Fauxbonichi is a dot grid MD paper journal. So the paper in it's different. It's also A5 size, it's smaller.
Okay.
But in this one, I'll do like lots of sketching and art and painting. In my Fauxbonichi, I'm more documenting my life. So like things happen. In my 5-year... Okay, this is so difficult.
I'm sure other people...
Start from the beginning. From the Fauxbonichi 5 years, I document a little bit every day, right?
Okay.
Do that for 5 years. In my Fauxbonichi, I kind of elaborate on what happens during those days. Like, but talk about specific feelings about certain things, or nothing too revealing, because I still believe in this illusion of privacy.
Yeah, okay.
But... You know, I'll kind of elaborate. Oh, I liked this, or this reminded me of that.
Uh-huh.
You know, whereas my travel journal is about the travel. It's about those 2 weeks documented. My Fauxbonichi is kind of just what I'm feeling as I'm feeling it, like a diary with art in it.
Okay.
But I date it just so I know when things
What day
happened.
is what day?
Yeah, and it's really nondescript. I used to do it weekly, so every day.
That's what this is.
Yeah, I mean, this is a new one. It used to be weekly and events, but now it's just wheneverly. It's just whenever I want to do it.
Okay.
So last week I did 3 days, and one day I did a 2-page spread.
Will you do
it was
something
one
every
day.
week? What if you don't always?
No, because in my last Fauxbonichi, I actually missed. I think I missed a whole month.
Oh, okay.
Which is why I never wanted to use a real Hobonichi, because they're expensive and they've got dates in them. So if I missed the dates, I would feel guilty
Have
about.
you gone back to fill them in?
No, I don't. Well, I only just got one of these Hobonichis gifted to me.
The 5 years?
No, that's the one I bought. This is so hard.
I have no idea.
This is literally like trying to explain the Marvel Cinematic Universe to someone who doesn't even care for comics. All of this to say, I'm sure most people listening are kind of following, but this is confusing. I should figure out a way to make this make sense.
It's just a journal for another journal.
What if I did like a family tree of journals just to explain how one was birthed out of the other? I wonder which one to be at the top.
But do you think, is it, okay, so now you're going over it in pen, right?
Yeah, so this is all the things I liked about it. I like the little bellflower thing, kind of looks like a little Pokemon I used to play around with when I was younger. Do you know I used to play Pokemon?
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. Good, you needed to know that. So the little bellflower thing, those little cherub, little chubby ballerina dancing flowers, and then obviously the more lanky ones, and then I use the fairy on top. So I'm just going to put this around the border, and I will end up journaling in those blank spaces.
Right.
But yeah, just kind of decorating it with my Copic markers and some watercolor.
It's very Golden Afternoon meets Fantasia.
Yes, it's exactly very that.
See?
Thanks for that.
In one of your bellflowers is a girl and the other one's a boy.
How'd you know?
Lashes.
I knew it. And I get tempted to put lashes on the boys too, but it's really the only way to sell that illusion on some of those more simple characters.
But did you really need it to be one was a male and the other one was a female? You really had to attach gender to the flower?
Oh, here we go. Steve knows I'm not politically correct, so this is just dangerous territory for me.
You are actually, but you are aware.
I'm aware, I just get really confused to know what to do.
Yeah.
Because I always believe that if you wanted to find a problem, you could. So I'm like, I get stuck and then I don't do anything.
Here's the point.
Because now I'm thinking, should I have done both of those as girls?
No, it's your journal.
Yeah.
It's art.
That's right, Steve. Look, I don't think it's going to matter on this, but typically I guess it doesn't matter.
So what are you using? You're using markers now.
Yes, these are Copic markers.
They look like watercolor.
These are like $65,000 a marker.
They look like watercolor.
Well, because they're alcohol based, so when it lays down the pigment, the alcohol dries and all that color is flat.
Okay.
In a water-based marker, it's kind of streaky. But if you use watercolor over Copic markers, they're not going to move. If you use watercolor over water-based markers like a Crayola, it'll bleed and move. Which both are handy for different reasons. Most people don't love Copic markers because they bleed through everything. That alcohol really penetrates.
But you can layer these and you still see the bottom
Yeah, they're
layer.
a bit transparent.
Yeah.
And you can layer a lot of them together and they'll actually blend really well together.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, these are more used for graphic kind of renderings in fashion illustration or automobile, like engineering drawings.
Just because of their capability?
Well, they've got a chisel tip that's really handy for mechanical drawings.
Sure.
But yeah, just for the way that they look, I mean, you can get all those really smooth blends and gradients.
Sure. It's pretty.
But the technique that I'm using to draw is just leave a lot of white space for highlights, which is really effective in fashion illustration as well, which is why I have Copic markers, because I love fashion illustration.
You do? I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, it's just another secret. Me and all my mysteries. And you can get like the ability to use how smooth that blend and that gradient is to render something like satin, like a silk satin. It'd be really hard to do with a Crayola. But with a Copic marker, you can get a very
you understand what the material is.
Yeah, you start to get a feeling for why these things exist, but they are expensive.
I love it. That's so pretty. I love this. Did you draw all? Have you written over it yet?
No, it's still like that, and I scanned it just in case.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm like.
It's so pretty. You did such a great job.
I'm pretty used to that now. If I like something or I think maybe I could use this in the future, I just scan it. It's just second nature.
You should. It's really pretty.
Thank you.
I love it.
I like they almost all look Japanese. Even her. Sorry she's Nudie Rudy, I just realized.
Cool.
All the fairies. It is what
It's
it
art.
is. They're fairies. They're not real women.
No, I love it. You did a great job. Thank you for teaching me.
Oh yeah, we're finished. That
Look at
flew
that.
by. Thanks for joining me, Steve.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully we'll see you around again soon.
Yeah, I love it. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for keeping your coughing at bay. You actually
Oh,
did much
man.
better than I thought you would.
Thank
My
you.
nose is coming back.
Oh, no.
Bye.
Bye.